Hey everybody, should you be a big fish in a small pond or should you be a small fish in a big pond? That's what we're going over today. I'm Tim Charron. I teach singers, songwriters, and bands how to book great gigs and explode your music career. So, let me tell you a quick story. I was out on a boat and with some friends and Smidge. We went out to a little island. We pulled up to the island, put the boat right up on the sand, put some music on, jumped in the water. We all sat in this crystal clear blue water, like, right on the shore of the sandy little beach on this island. And we were all just talking. So, a friend of ours was saying that she wasn't sure if she was going to stay where we were, and she wasn't sure if she was going to stay with her job that she was in, and that she was looking for different jobs in different cities. So she said to me, do you think it's better to be a big fish in a small pond or a small fish in a big pond? And boom, it hit me. Here's my answer. It's actually a question. Are you already a fish? That's the really important thing that you need to address before you can even consider whether you need to be a big fish or a small fish. You need to be a fish, not a tadpole. You need to make sure you're being a fish. What do I mean by being a fish? You need to make sure that you're already in the game. We're talking music, we're talking the music business, so you need to make sure that you're already in the game and that you're establishing yourself as a force to be reckoned with. You need to make sure that you are, in this instance, that you're out there pounding the pavement, playing gigs, writing songs, recording songs, that you already need to be a recording artist or a band or whatever it is that you're trying to do, that you're trying to figure out whether you want to be a small fish or a big pond. You need to make sure that you're a player, not a tadpole. You need to make sure that you're a fish already. You need to make sure that you're a player in the game first. Extremely important, because if you're not, then it doesn't matter. If you're barely doing anything, if you're hardly doing anything in music, and you consider yourself a recording artist, you're not in the game. So you need to establish yourself as a force. Be a badass. Work your ass off at least getting known wherever you are. And so to answer the question, should you be a big fish in a small pond or a small fish in a big pond? Here's the answer. Depending on where you are in your music career, if you are at the beginning, wherever you are, wherever you live, if you're not, most likely you weren't born in a music city. I mean, really the music cities are what? Pretty much Nashville, LA, New York, of course, maybe Chicago and New Orleans. For Latin music, Miami. So if you're not in one of those places, you should absolutely be a big fish, become a big fish in a small pond. And that's not easy to do. So what I'm telling you is become as big of a fish as you possibly can in that small pond. So become a big force to be reckoned with, become as well known as you possibly can, working on your craft, doing your music, playing your shows, recording your music, releasing your music in whatever city or town or region you already live in before you move to a major music city. So that's what I did. I started my career playing every single tiki bar and restaurant up and down the Florida Keys. I was living in Miami. Played a bunch of gigs in Miami, but I played hundreds of gigs up and down, solo acoustic, playing up and down the Florida Keys from Key Largo to Key West. Then I built up you want to build up your confidence. You want to build up your fan base. You want to build up your reputation. You want to build up your content. This is extremely important. You want to build up your social media and your website with all this stuff. You know, say you live in, I don't know, say you live in Wyoming or Kansas or Georgia or whatever, in your small town or in your big, whether it's a small town or a big city, you want to become as big as you possibly can in that region before you move to a music town. Because then you take all the confidence, you take all the experience that you have, and what happened to me anyway, and everybody I've talked to that moved to Nashville, I thought I was doing pretty good. I built all this up. I built up my confidence. I built up my sets. I built up my songwriting. I built up my, releasing music. I built up my fan base. Then I moved to Nashville. And oh my God, is that humbling. So you go from being a big fish in a small pond to being the smallest fish in the most vast ocean of absolutely unbelievably talented people you've ever heard in your life. And you feel like a tiny little speck of dust. And that's good. Because if you had moved to try to be a big fish, a small fish in a big town originally, if you just are starting your music career and you move to Nashville, it's going to be painful. It's going to be 1,000 times more painful than that. So build it up. Take everything that you've learned by becoming a big fish in a small town and take that confidence and knowing that you're gonna feel it, because in a place like Nashville, and I'm sure LA is the same way, in New York, you're just gonna be overwhelmed by the talent that's around you, and it's hard, very hard for you not to compare yourself to everybody else, but that's good, because that's what's gonna make you better. If you move there and you just realize that that's what's going to happen, that you're gonna feel that pressure, that everybody is more talented than you, take that, use it for fuel to motivate yourself to work that much harder and slowly start climbing. And the great thing about music cities and places like Nashville is that the bar is set so high that you either sink or swim. And you can't be a big fish unless you're ready and willing to swim with the sharks. So that bar is set so high, and you can use that for motivation and fire and fuel to work harder, to get better, to write more songs, to become a better performer, to become a better overall songwriter or recording artist. And you can feed off of all those incredible musicians and all those incredible songwriters around you. So, to cap it off, make sure you are a badass first before you even consider the question whether you should be a big fish in a small pond or a small fish in a big pond. Make sure you're a fish. Make sure you're a badass fish. Become the biggest fish in your small pond. Then when you're ready, when you have it all together, go for it and go start at the bottom again, but you've already got all of this stuff, the foundation, so you're not starting all the way at zero, and go move to that big music market, music city, and work your way up from being the small fish in a big town to being a big fish in a big town, or being a big shark in a big town. So there you have it. I'm Tim Charron. I teach singers, songwriters, and bands how to book great gigs and explode your music career. Let me know. Let me know if you've done either one of these things. Let me know if you're a fish, number one. Let me know if you're a shark. Let me know if you're a tadpole. And it's all good, man. Like, wherever you are in your progression, wherever you are in your journey and in your music business, it's great. Like, don't be hard on yourself if you're just starting out, or even if you, man, I took forever in my life to take my music business seriously. I mean, I was just kind of a quasi musician for like 12 years, until I decided one year to start being more serious about it, and more serious and more serious. So even if you're like not a fish, if you're not a fish, don't beat yourself up about it. Don't feel bad that you're not a fish yet. Just change things little by little. Just add a little bit of practice, a little bit of songwriting, a little bit of this, a little bit of, make one call a day to start booking gigs. Download my free guide on how to book gigs. It's my gift to you. It'll help. It's at howtobookgigs.com. But wherever you are, don't beat yourself up. Just get better. That's it. Slowly, slowly, slowly. Baby steps, baby steps, baby steps. And make sure you download the free guide at howtobookgigs.com.